back to the vlog.
Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Anthony and I are going to do a Q&A. He's making a coffee over there, so he will be here very shortly. But probably about a week ago, I put on my story like a place for you guys to ask questions, just like for a couple's Q&A. So it kind of ranges from everything that has to do with our relationship. So yeah, this should be interesting. Hopefully it's not too long. I have a problem with picking and choosing questions. I just literally answer every single one. So yeah, I think that's kind of it for the intro. It's just gonna be a Q&A. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. And if you have any other questions, just comment them down below and I'll do my best to answer. So yeah, that's it. Oh, first question. I actually got like 3 or 4 questions like this. Are you planning on having kids? And a lot of people said like, when are you planning on having kids? The answer is yes. Definitely. I definitely want a family. I will be having children. When, I have no idea. I'm not going to put a time restraint on it. I think that we're definitely not ready right now. We're 26 and 27, which I used to think was old, and I thought I would have had a kid by now.
I feel like general population probably still sees it as old. Yeah. But
we're just not.
Yeah,
we're not in that part of our life
we're
yet.
not there yet. And not that we're not mature enough, not that we don't think we could raise children. We're not there. I haven't experienced enough in my life yet, and I think Paige shares that with me. And I've really bought into like the age is just a number thing. And at one point I was like, if by 30, 31 I didn't have a kid, like I screwed up. But at this point, like I could be 40 and have a child, and everything's gonna work out the way it's supposed to. So yeah, I feel the same as P. So eventually, without a doubt in my mind, we will be having kids, but not anytime soon, I guess.
Yeah, not soon. Best present or gift you've ever received from each other? This one's really, really hard.
Oh, mine was freaking easy.
I don't know.
I was just going to grab my computer and show it, but Paige bought me a MacBook. I think this has come up a couple times now. It's a recurrent theme on your freaking YouTube channel, but that or the AirPods you bought me last year in terms of like sentimental value. Like last year we were like piss poor, and then I come out on my birthday and we had a Christmas tree up and Paige had put my AirPods underneath that. So that was probably my favorite gift, and I actually really was able to revisit those emotions.
Surprised too. If you want your gift, it's on the tree.
What the heck? You didn't do anything crazy, right?
No, I'm not crazy.
No fucking way, Paige. Are you kidding me?
No. Oh my, please, no.
You're kidding me. What the hell, babe? Babe. Thank you so much.
And not that monetary value should be like, what's your best gift ever, but like a MacBook this year, AirPods last year, like I'm truly blessed. Even it's weird that I can even say like somebody bought me those things, but I think I was just so shocked by the AirPods. It was just like, and at a time where like neither of us could really afford to go buy $200 headphones, so yeah, P treats me really, really well, guys. I'm super blessed. So
dude, I don't know what my favorite gift from you is. I feel like a dickhead.
It's okay.
Because I like am trying to like remember all the things. Like
you're tough.
A lot of watches you've gotten me. That was like my gift.
Your entire watch collection is pretty much from me. But you were like, it was hard to. So we're weird now. Like we don't really buy each other all that much stuff. We're pretty frugal with our money for the most part, outside of necessities.
Which I consider the MacBook a necessity. So.
I agree.
I also feel like I've never like let you surprise me, almost.
Vice versa.
Like like we always know what each other's getting, so it's like
that's true. We pick out what we want to get for the most part, and we usually yell at each other when we buy nice things for each other. So.
How do you keep meal prep interesting? Kind of get tired of eating chicken and rice all the time. See, like, I don't think we have that issue because I honestly like the basics. I know I like make all my fancy foods and stuff, but like I am perfectly content with the basics. I actually really like beef and rice, chicken and rice. Same. Really hard.
Let me answer this from a different way, because this could be coming from those of you out there who like, and I was one of them, who like don't believe in macros, don't believe in if it's or flexible dieting. There's lots of other types of foods to eat out there outside of just chicken and rice. And like I said, when I first started bodybuilding, that was it. I would never even think about eating anything that had sugar in it.
You would not
cereal, Pop-Tarts, anything like that. There's just plenty of stuff out there for you to kind of get out of that, like, I don't want to just eat chicken and rice anymore.
You don't
there's lots of recipes, there's lots of different food sources that you can get from.
Someone said, how tall is Anthony?
6 foot. 5'11" #3.
We answered this one. How do you still find romance after living together and being together for so long? Actually, we didn't really talk about romance, but we talked about, like, I guess, keeping things interesting. We did that in the gingerbread house. I don't know. I think that is coming before this.
That would be before this. I just genuinely always love Paige's company.
Same.
We, like, still have the ability after 6 years to flirt with each other. Like, I don't know.
I feel like, I don't know.
We do a good job of being affectionate towards each other, and I think that's largely due to the fact that we give each other enough space when we know we need it. So, there's no special tips and tricks here.
No, and everyone's going to be different.
Something from you, but
no, I feel like everyone's going to be different with the amount that they need, I guess. So we just have a really perfect balance and like chemistry with each other that it just works really well, I feel like. And
maybe for guys out there, like, I'm probably above average affectionate guy.
Yeah, he is very, very like emotional.
Yeah,
and
so
like shows emotion.
And maybe that's a big part of what I give to Paige.
Yeah.
I don't know that I just always lead with that. So I wonder if that's kind of been a reason that we've been successful for this long. And
yeah, don't be afraid to show your emotions.
We're also big on communicating from the get, whether it's good, bad, like, we're big on communicating with each other. Be open with your partner, be open with your spouse, and yeah, just I guess for you guys out there, like, get in touch with your emotional side, man. Be affectionate.
Yeah, it's not a bad thing. How do you handle finances living together? So this one gets...
Should we go down the complicated?
Interesting. Yeah, we can, just to kind of show, I guess, be fully transparent with like how it is sometimes. But like, if things were, I was making money, he was making money, we were both making money, we would split things. Like, sometimes we go grocery shopping, he'll pay, sometimes I'll pay. We would like split rent. Like,
basically right down the middle.
Yeah, like, we don't really have that like Anthony has to pay for everything because he's the guy. Like, no, it's equal. Like, we're equal humans, and things if we're both using something, like, it should be split. Granted, if we go out to eat, like, we're not gonna split the bill. Like, he'll get it one day and I'll get it the next, and it'll just like, we kind of have that like flow going where we both kind of take care of it at certain times. I don't think it gets complicated if you guys kind of have an understanding of it all. Dealing with finances shouldn't be that difficult, especially if you're with someone who you can be fully comfortable and transparent with, and like, money isn't an awkward subject to talk about. I don't think it should be really in a relationship. So
now, of course, it can get tricky if you don't completely trust your significant other. But for the most part, I'd say at this point in our relationship, our finances are pretty much interconnected. We have separate bank accounts completely. We don't have a joint account or anything like that. But the last couple of years have been super interesting for Paige. Paige has kind of been chasing to get to the level that we're at now. So during the beginning phases of that, I had to take a brunt, or a big portion of the financial burden that came with Paige having to not be able to work so much in like the normal workforce of corporate world, waitressing, whatever it was, because she needed to invest a lot more time in what she's doing now. That all changed probably about midway through 2018 when things, businesses started to, become developed by Paige, and we started to actually make a little bit more money from what she's doing here. That became her full-time gig. Then it got to the point where it was time to start to transition me out of the corporate world, and doing so, I've taken the biggest financial impact of my entire life. So at this point, things have kind of shifted back to Paige, where she's kind of footing the bill on a lot of things, whether that's rent or other things like that. And it's kind of, at first it was really hard for me to sit there and like, especially as the man, that the stereotypical like, I need to be the provider and all that. But it's cool that we've gone through both phases now, where I was a major supporter, she's a major supporter now, and it's giving me the opportunity to chase exactly what I want to go after in my life. And of course I'm making some income. You guys know I work with DeadFit and there's lots going on, but jumping out of like the steady full-time 50, 60, 70 hours a week to doing something that's more entrepreneurial based and kind of helping another thing grow, you got to be willing to, one, you have to have a partner that's there for you no matter what, and two, you got to be willing to kind of go through those struggles. Paige did it for a long time. It was shitty at that time, and I've gone through lots of don't want to say depression, but like I've gone through a lot of mental anxiety over it being that I wasn't making so much money at this particular time. I'm 27 years old. Like I should have my shit together already, you know. Be transparent with your significant other, and you have to be willing to work. It's a give and take.
Yes,
and
that's huge.
Yeah, and I think we've executed that pretty well at this point. So.
I agree. Who is more romantic?
These are getting long.
I know, right? Who is more romantic?
I think me.
I think you are too.
If I'm going to be honest, yeah. And that's not, I don't think it's a bad thing.
No, I don't either, but I think you really are. Like, I have my moments, but I feel like with you, I'm not closed off in any way, but in general, I feel like I'm kind of a closed off, more reserved person.
Mm-hmm.
But with you, that's a totally different story, but I still feel like you are more romantic and, like, open with your emotion.
Yeah.
For the no,
I agree.
For the most part, like, I'm still definitely, like, you obviously know how I feel.
Of course.
But yeah, I do feel like
you're
kind of
I would say probably me, yeah.
Yeah. Most annoying habit, his and hers.
So, okay, well, we'll talk about Paige's, because we read this comment yesterday, and then she did exactly what pisses me off the most about her. So, Paige is notorious, especially when it comes to something that's to someone that's trying to get her to pay or buy something, that she concedes, like, whatever type of suggestion they give them, or like they're trying to lure her in for something, Paige is going to say yes, almost 100% of the time. So, quick story here, like, it was like 4 or 5 years. No,
this was like 7 years ago.
This is a while back. Oh shoot, you're right. So Paige gets a solicitation call, and it's for like a magazine subscription. Blah blah blah. This guy gets her for 5 to 10 minutes. I'm like in her other ear, like, hang up the effing phone, like, what are you doing? Like, this guy's just going on, and I've been in sales. Like, I get it. Like, you want to keep the person on the phone. Long story short, I see Paige pulling out a freaking credit card and giving this guy her fucking number.
It was like a $100 a month for like
subscribe
10 magazines.
For this like random allotment of magazines, because she wouldn't tell this guy that she'd never hear from again on the phone. No.
Yeah.
Same thing happened at Starbucks yesterday. This guy makes a suggestion for Paige. Now, Paige loves cold brew.
So, yeah.
She gets her normal cold brew all the time. Yeah, go ahead.
And then he's like, do you want to try the nitro? And like, I know what nitro is, but I was just like, yeah, sure, I'll try it. And it's like the one that like comes in kind of like what you would think would be a regular hot cup with like a normal top, and you drink it like this. And I'm huge on ice. I'm huge on straws. And drinking my drink like that. Yeah, so then I just get, and I kind of knew once I said it, I was like, fuck, that isn't really what I want.
Yeah, so exactly. So as soon as she was done, I could see it in her face that she didn't want to say that. So I was like, Paige, like, what the fuck? Just tell the guy you didn't want it. Like, it's no big deal. He's not going to fucking be mad about it.
Oh my god,
so you can bleep out all my curses if you want.
I just get uncomfortable.
So I guess you could say Paige in like situations like that require like a blunt no, or like, no, I'm not interested at all. Paige shuts down and will just say yes.
I'm a pushover in that way.
So that is my biggest pet peeve of my girlfriend.
I guess would just be like little things that are like
the hanger thing and things like that.
Like he would leave like when he got dressed in the morning, he would leave a hanger out, like take the clothes off the hanger and leave the hanger in the closet.
They would be like hanging on.
Yeah, like just hanging around our apartment, like it's decor. And then, I don't know, just things like leaving shit in the sink and like not putting water in it and letting it crust over, and then it's 10 times harder to clean.
Protein shakes specifically.
Also, okay, so he drinks a protein shake and completely closes the lid and just lets it sit there. Like no air, nothing. So it just sits and rots and in its own stench. Then Paige goes to open it and clean it, and it's literally the scariest thing ever. So I think it's just little things like that, and I think it's just like guy things that they just like you just don't think about. Like just like little like, I don't know, things like that. If you guys hadn't met in college, where do you guys think you would be in life today?
Not in California, not in fitness.
Nope.
Honestly, I would be wearing a suit and tie somewhere in New York City by now. That's what I honestly think.
I would probably be somewhere in the medical field.
Yeah, at this point, you would have never obviously lived on Long Island. I would have stayed. I'd probably either still be at home living on Long Island.
I would definitely be
working at the same job that I got right out of college, in tech/banking field. Or I would have tried to make the switch over to go to the city for a little more money. Someone
also asked, do you think you would be married or have a child if you guys still lived in New York?
Nope.
No, I think it would be exactly the same as we are now, but just in New York. Like us speeding up our process wouldn't have happened no matter where we were, because I think we were already like in this mode of our mindset that like changing locations didn't change that. We already had this mindset before moving to California. So I don't think that would have changed anything.
I think we were chasing this before we were like, we're moving to California.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like that mindset began in New York. It wasn't like a...
Moving to California like wasn't like why we're in fitness. It was a byproduct of being in fitness already.
Do your aunt ever get jealous? No.
Nope.
Not even a little. I think that just comes with time, I think, and trust and being comfortable with each other.
I don't know if I've ever said it like publicly or like on the internet before, but like Paige could honestly, not that I would want her drinking every night, but like Paige could go to the bar 7 days a week and I wouldn't bat an eye. I would never feel like she's talking to other guys.
Yeah,
and even if she did, I still wouldn't care. Paige has instilled complete trust in me over the course of our relationship. Now that came super early.
Yeah, I feel like. And the thing is, I think if anything did make us uncomfortable, like if you were to do something that made me jealous or feel uncomfortable, I would say, hey, that makes me feel uncomfortable.
Yep.
And he would respect me enough to not do it. So if there was a jealousy thing, it would be nipped right away and it wouldn't happen again.
Like, don't do that. We don't
so I feel like there's zero jealousy, and if there was, I think that we would be able to completely just...
Again, back to communication. It's important.
Absolutely. Oh, how do you spend every day with Anthony without getting annoyed?
Pick the right one.
Dude, like...
I wish we had better answers.
I know,
to
because it just
stuff.
seems so simple for us.
I think you guys, well, maybe you don't know because you get, not that it's a different version of P, but like, I know Paige, the homebody. Like, Paige is a quiet, keep to herself, like, loner type of person. So I understand that because I know her, that I gotta give her space, that she has to have time alone. And I like to be like that in some instances, but Paige also knows that I'm a people person. I like to be with people, and I like to always be out and run around and hanging out with my friend. Well, not even so much hanging out, but just like being around and interacting with people.
Yeah, he likes to be around people
so,
a lot.
Yeah, I think we've kind of figured each other out in that regard, and like I said, it's give and take. We, you know, I give Paige free time when she needs it, or like alone time, and she gives it to me when I need it to.
Yeah, we can go over that too. Like, how do you kind of balance like working and living together? And I feel like it kind of all goes as one.
I know, like when Paige is like working on her stuff, like I try not to bother her. I'll like put my headphones on over here if I'm watching TV or my MacBook. And then also in the bedroom, we did set up half the room for like a filming studio / another workspace. So yeah, I guess.
So like, even though we're like working together or in the same vicinity, like we'll go hours without even speaking to each other, because like I'll be over there, he'll be over here. Like,
I've never heard one of Paige's client calls, put it that way. She does them all from the apartment. I'm here for 50% of them. Yeah. And I still haven't heard one. She'll go in the room and shut the door. I'll go in the room and she'll stay out here. Well, is it more like living and working in the same place, or are you and I living and working together? Or
I think together and both.
Okay. So we've done a good job in the apartment of separating the work and living space, and then for you and I,
and like you're just my best friend, so like I don't get sick of you, and you're my favorite person to be around.
Thanks.
You know what I mean?
And that's the same for me.
Like, it's hard because I just like I would rather spend my time with him than not.
I agree. It's like to the point where like I know it's like some people and like. Even like my parents, like when like one of my parents would go away, they would be like, staycation, like this is amazing. And like I genuinely, after 6 years of being with Paige, like she went home for Thanksgiving or Thanksgiving week for her mom, and I was miserable here alone.
Yeah, like I hate being.
And she's like genuinely like, whether her and I are talking business, talking about, you know, growing pains of life, or kind of just bullshitting, like I always enjoy Paige's company, and like she said, she's my favorite person.
That was cute.
Wow, this is like an ass kissing game right now.
A lot of these are like kind of along with the kids thing, like marriage plans, when you guys getting married, all this stuff. I have no real care to rush into it. I think that we literally are probably have a freaking better relationship than some of these people who are married. Like the way that we are with each other, getting married would change absolutely nothing. It would be the exact same.
And I know to some people, and I'm not knocking this in any way, like some people like getting married is like super important to them, like just that stamp of approval. Right. It's very important to people, and I understand that. It's important to Paige and I. We're going to be married one day.
It will happen, but the rush is
it's
not
unimportant at this chapter of our life. I'm not going anywhere. I wholeheartedly believe Paige isn't going anywhere, no matter what. So what's the rush to go and put a ring on it? Now, don't get me wrong, there may be a financial decision that we need to make that may be advantageous to do that. That would be the only way I could imagine us rushing into anything. I think at this point we'll probably start our family and get married all around the same time frame. So I think we're a few years away from that.
Yeah.
Dog might happen though. I'm pushing that one, guys. Comment below if you think Paige and I should get a dog.
I
and
know,
have it on
they
the channel
think we
regularly.
should.
I'm curious to know how many of you guys think we should get a dog.
I know a lot of them say that. What is your secret in having a relationship together for all these years? So let's keep this one short, and I'm just gonna say communication.
Communication.
Like that's it. Like
whether
it all comes down to that.
As pissed as all hell, whether you're as happy as you can be, or anywhere in between, just communicate all the time. I let Paige know how I'm feeling all the time. I've gone through emotions that I've never felt over the last year of my life, and I've let her know all of them. You also start to understand your partner at some point in time. Like, Paige is not going to tell me when if she's pissed that she's not pissed. Like, I can tell. I know her by now.
Yeah,
you know. So yeah, just communicate. Be super, super, super open.
Who made the first move? There were a few like that. I'd say Anthony did. He goes. How long have you two known each other? I know, right? Probably what, 7.5?
We met in 2010, so 8 years. Wow. Oh no, it was 2011. I'm sorry. It was 2010. We went to college. I met.
Oh yeah, so I'd say it's like 7.5.
Paige was in my poetry class, but I didn't meet her till after we were out of poetry class together. I was too scared.
How did you know he was the one? And I've also gotten like, how did you, like both of us, how did we know each other was the one? As
corny and cliche as it is, you just know. Like, I don't know if you've ever talked. Like, I was a pretty flirtatious guy back in the day, and
he was a little bad.
And I thought I loved plenty of girls, and it was different. One day we'll go into like the actual story. I cried to Paige a week after I met her because she had a boyfriend at the time, and I couldn't pursue her, if you will. She put a stop to that, and I already knew that I couldn't just be friends with her. So we'll leave it at that. Like, as corny as it is, you just know. I just knew. Maybe you felt the same.
After a while, like, it was something that I couldn't ignore anymore, and I think that's kind of how I knew. Because I kept trying to like almost push it away, like it wasn't the way that I felt. But yeah, after a while, you kind of can't ignore it and pretend anymore. Yeah. So. What first attracted you to each other? I think mine was because you were such a sweet talker. Like, he was smooth, guys. So, like, I think he was just, like, super, like, charismatic and, like, really, really sweet, too. Like, really nice. And almost to the point where you would think he was, like, kissing your ass a little bit because you are kind of like that. Yeah. But I think that...
I think it comes from a genuine place.
Yeah, but I think that you genuinely felt that way. So, I don't know. It was nice because... I am really into, like, guys showing their emotions and, like, showing their feelings. For you to be so, like, nice and generous. And especially in college where all guys are, like, douches to try to get girls to like them. He was, like, the complete opposite, which I thought was just, like, really nice. What first attracted you to me?
I don't know, to be honest with you.
I have no, like, lovable traits at first. Because I'm very quiet and reserved, and I...
Well, you were a hard shell to crack, too. Like, I had never, like, put thought into that. Like, what, like, was, like, that main attraction. I mean, you were a little baddie running around college, but, like, outside of that, I don't know. I get it. Like, because we hadn't really talked much before, and I was just, like... like I said, Paige was in my poetry class first semester. Didn't talk to her all the second semester, because I never saw her. Yeah. And then... I met her at a party, and I don't know, I was just like drawn to talking to her, and we got into good conversation, and I was like, I F with this girl. I was going to say, but...
I know what you were going to say.
Yeah, I don't have a good answer for that, to be honest with you. I was drawn to her, and it got better and better the more we talked, and I think that whole first week, like, we like talked nonstop, texted back and forth, and that's when I was... Oh, God. Forgot about BlackBerry. Yeah, good Lord.
I feel like, how did you guys meet? So I guess that kind of goes into it. We met at a frat party in college.
On Cinco de Mayo.
Cinco de Mayo. We both weren't going to go out that night, and then we ended up going out and going to a random house party, and then...
It was the only time we ever went to that. This is end of freshman year of college. Only time we both went to that same house. Last time we went to that same house. Pretty crazy how things happen.
Neil said, how hyped for Colorado fam? We are extremely hyped.
Neil, you better be watching
We are
this.
so lit for Colorado.
Yeah, if you guys don't know,
I told them we're going.
you know about snowboarding and everything. We're going on.
We're going to Colorado in March. So the camera stopped recording, but I think it actually literally ended like as we were done with that last one.
Oh, sweet.
So. Do you guys ever get into fights during your show prep because of low energy and mood swings? Yes and no. We kind of answered this. We did a literal whole Q&A about competing and being in a relationship. I always try to check myself, and he'll kind of put me in my place if I'm being rude and like bitchy for no reason.
I also think I understand pretty well during prep time, like especially when it comes to you. Like I speak my mind. I'm very blunt. I tell you how it is, at least how I see it, and I pump the brakes on that during prep. So I just. Of course, like everyone who's prepped before, they know you get moody, and I've dieted before and it happens. So
I also try to be extremely aware because that's I don't need to lash out on him because I feel a certain type of way due to prep. Like if I'm hungry, that's no one's fault but my own. So why am I gonna lash out on someone else because I am irritable?
I think you kind of keep to yourself instead of like outbreaks.
If I'm in a bad mood or I know I'm kind of gonna be a bitch if something happens, I try to just like pull back and give myself space so that I don't hurt people that don't deserve to be hurt, I guess. Do you work out together often?
I wouldn't say often,
no.
honestly, at this point.
We go to the gym at the same time, but we don't really work out together.
Our splits never really line up, and
like we worked out back the other day together because we were both working back, but like for the most part, we kind of just do our own thing.
And I don't
mind it.
It's not like us for a specific reason. We just kind of like do our own thing in the gym, and also like depending on what weight, or what muscle group we're training. It's like
can be really annoying.
If I'm squatting and I have 3 plates on the bar, and then I got to take 2 off every time I squat. It's
annoying, and
it almost affects your workout. It affects my workout to the point where it's like, is it really worth it?
That's where I kind of am like, it's not really worth it. How do you guys get past others putting your relationship down as if it isn't as good as you say?
Do people ever do that?
No, so we never run into that issue, but I would just say no one knows what goes on between you two behind closed doors, so no one has the right and the ability to judge and say whether it is as good as you say it is or not. Also, it shouldn't really matter what other people think about your relationship as long as you and the other person know what's going on with you guys. I
almost want that to happen because I would just genuinely like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think you need to not worry about it because it doesn't matter what other people think. Have you guys ever experienced a huge downfall in your relationship?
No.
No. We've never had like a huge like argument that like brought us to the breaking point.
Not even close.
Not even.
I can't even think of an instance. We fight over pizza sometimes. That's about it. That was
yeah,
one time
we'll get to that one. Most memorable moment you shared together? I can't think of a moment.
What was it? Sorry, I was reading these.
Most memorable moment you guys have shared together?
Oh,
I don't know. Another one is the funniest moment you guys have had together. And I'm not even joking. I want to say probably every single night, like me and him are really goofy with each other. And we just like crack up over the dumbest stuff together. Like every night we'll have like a laughing fit over something.
Yeah.
So like I cannot pinpoint like the funniest thing that ever happened. Because I feel like we literally die laughing like every day.
Yeah,
How do you get through fights without it blowing up? A lot of them are kind of like this. What's your biggest fight? How do you resolve arguments?
We're big silent treatment people.
We will sit in silence for hours. And I hate, I start to like twitch. Like my skin crawls when we're sitting there not speaking.
I like to think Paige and I, like when we do like get in an argument or something, we need like a personal cool off period. It typically lasts like a half hour to an hour, like where we like I could be sitting right next to her like this and we won't say a goddamn word. It's so funny because like again, it'll come back down to communication. Like we'll like one of us will finally break.
One of us has to.
And the reason we probably get that long is because we are stubborn in that regard.
Yeah, I feel like both of us like we think we're right in the moment, or we also don't understand each other's side, obviously, until we freaking talk about it. So like that's why it's important to discuss things, because then you see the other side. Because most of the time we are assuming things about each other that like isn't even true. So
so then like we'll like be quiet for that period of time. We'll say one thing or another that's unrelated, and then one of us just be like, okay, I'm sorry, I was feeling this way because of this, da da da. And it's always like that was so pointless. Like why did we not speak for 2 hours? Yeah. So nip it in the butt. Talk to your significant other.
Yeah.
Tell them why you're pissed off and hash it out right there.
Yeah.
The longer you go, the more time you put in between it, it'll just get worse.
Any businesses you start together, fitness and not? I think.
I'd say yeah.
Yeah, we totally would.
We don't know. I wouldn't say like we have plans.
I don't have anything set in stone right now that like I know that we're starting together, but like I would never be opposed to that.
Yeah.
I think it's
I'd say
inevitable.
in some capacity or another, Paige and I will run a business together, whether it's just Paige Riley Brands or whatever that may be. So yeah, I'd say so.
What are some things you and Anthony disagree on?
Not much. I'm gonna say from, not that we're very political people, but from politics to like everyday life.
We're like on the same
to
page.
Relationship stuff to controversial topics. We're pretty much on the same page with everything.
Yeah. I can't think
of a glaring thing that I'm like in complete opposition to you. So no, I don't know.
Do Anthony's parents like you / do your parents like him? Yes.
Yeah.
Mine love you. Oh, I just blocked somebody. Was it hard to adjust to living together when you first moved in? So I feel like this is typically a really big thing for couples. And I feel like it was the most seamless thing ever. It was like the greatest thing. Partying with my best friend every day and like.
Well, part of me wanted to just be like, it was easier because we lived together in college, but Paige lived in a house with 7 other guys with me, so like that was probably terrible. So yeah, my senior year of college, Paige actually moved into the lacrosse house. We had the lines done upstairs. It was pretty sweet, honestly. But yeah, we lived together senior year of college, just to save money, to be honest with you, and
I was at his house every day anyway, so I was paying rent at my place and I slept at his place every day. So it was,
she was paying rent. It was literally across the street. So it was like, what's the point when we could both save some money here? And we've pretty much been living together. There was like a year stint after college that Paige lived up in Albany and I lived downstate in Long Island. But yeah, we've pretty much been living together since then. And like Paige said, we have like a slumber party every day. It's cool.
Like I don't think we have big conflicting things like where you do something a certain way and like I do something a certain way and they just like clash all the time. Like so I feel like things are so easy.
It's hard to like give advice because it's been so easy from the get for the both of us,
What was your first date? I don't know because
I probably took you for wings or something in Monopole downtown.
We were friends for so long that like I feel like I can't recall like our first like date as an official couple. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. We did so much together that like.
I have no clue.
I don't know. I literally could not.
I don't even know what our most recent date was.
Because we.
It's probably wild.
Me either. I know, right? What are your future plans as a couple?
Outside of taking over the world, that's a good question. So, I think at a high level, just continuing chasing happipiness together. I think we've done a good job of that so far the last 6.5 years. I don't know, I guess should I say at high level, I expect Paige and I hope my mom's not watching this, to have a beautiful house somewhere in California from Los Angeles south and raise our kids out here and have 2 or 3 little ones running around, a dog, and freedom in the bank,
something
if you will.
that we built that like it allows us to just coast kind of.
I just want to get to the point in life where we can just continue and have a sustainable path to living life on our own terms. I think we're living life on our own terms right now, but it's not sustainable, and like we haven't achieved, we're not even close to achieving that like freedom level yet where we can just kind of say screw everything else. So I want to get to that point. I see us both getting there. So I couldn't do it without Paige though. So. It's, but I expect huge things to come out of this girl. So, like I said, we're just getting started here. It's cool.
All right, guys, that's it. I answered like 99% of the questions. I
feel like I spoke a lot, so I do apologize if you guys want to hear Paige.
Anthony loves to talk. No, they hear me all the time.
I'm just a talker. I'm sorry. Just has to come out.
He is. So yeah, I think that's it. Like I said in the beginning, comment below if you like have any questions, I guess, about our question or about our answers, and then also I guess if we didn't cover something that you are curious about. We're gonna definitely do way more of these. This is already our 3rd one, I think. Thank you for watching. I know this is a long one, but I put the timestamps down below so you can kind of skip around if you want. Yeah, thank you for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.
Thanks.